Several of the Creative Suite applications have similar functionality, and of course After Effects is no different. We can enable opacity and also the blend modes that you might be familiar with inside of Photoshop. So let's cover opacity first, which we did cover elsewhere, but I just want to show you that we can, have two layers. On one layer we have a rhino, and of course we have the grass on the other layer. And when you drop the opacity down, just hit T on your keyboard till you get to the opacity property. And I can just go ahead and drag this slider. And now the rhinoceros is going into cloak mode. So you can, achieve effects just by using this one slider here to create some abstract artwork like this or something like that. So, just like a ghost rhino or whatever. And so we can bring this to full opacity or drop it down. And don't forget, because we have the stopwatch here, we can animate this. I'll go ahead and hit T again to close that property. Now the blend modes are enabled by going down here to the toggles and switches mode. Now, of course, you can also right click on a layer and then you can go to blending mode, but coming to this menu over and over again can be quite a drag. So you don't want to keep right clicking to choose one of these guys. But while I'm already here, let's just talk about some of these blend modes. Now in Photoshop, they're divided in a similar fashion. We have blend modes that will darken pixels. And what that means is the topmost layer will take the pixels and then darken them by combining them or multiplying them with the pixels underneath them. We also have lighten modes, which do the opposite. So they take those values and they kind of lighten them up. Then we have these here that are like overlays. So you can get really nice effects, soft effects, and also very harsh effects. And we have things like difference, which will take the values here and give you the opposite value. And we also have those that will do exactly what they say here. They will do the blend based on the hue, saturation, color, and luminosity values. We can also use the alpha and others. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you the easy way to get to this menu. So I go down here, click on toggle switches mode, and now we have a mode menu that pops up. And that whole list is here. Just a lot faster to get to these modes this way. So let's go ahead to the top layer and we're going to apply a multiply. As you can see here, it takes the dark pixels in the rhino and it gets rid of the lighter ones and it makes those blend in with the pixels underneath it. Multiply is used quite often in illustration as far as like having inked work. So let's say you have a cartoon character and the paper is white and you ink with black ink. Multiply will get rid of the white pixels and leave the black outline. So that's just an example of what that does. Let's come back up here again. We also have some burns here. So we have like a color burn and it gives you a really interesting effect as well. It's burning those pixels, really blending them and super saturating them. We have dark color. All right, so look at that. Look how cool that is. It just chopped the top of that liner off. We also have blend modes that are the opposite. So we have, for example, screen mode. Screen is the opposite of multiply. Right, so it brings us the light pixels and gets rid of the darker ones. Let's come over here now to overlay. Overlay gives you a nice overlay of the artwork, as you can see here, and gives us almost like a painting. All right, so let's go ahead and check out something like difference. Difference gives you a really X-ray feeling. All right, so it once again takes the values and flips them around. And last but not least, I want to talk about stencil alpha. What the stencil alpha will do is it will take the alpha map or value or channel on your artwork and use that as a mask. So as you can see here, it kind of gives us a cutout feeling. So these are some really cool blend modes that you might want to apply to your animations. So I can just go ahead and move this around. Check that out. Just moving the background right through the rhino picture. All right, so that is a quick look at some of the blend modes. There are a lot in here. So the best way to learn is to experiment and maybe write down some notes and just find some favorites. For example, I love using multiply 9 times out of 10 because I'm an illustrator. So you might want to try, getting used to using multiply and some others.